The culture of journalism has been as important to the evolution of this unique society as the rule of law, and we cannot let it wither.
We must not confuse dissent with disloyalty. We must remember always that accusation is not proof, and that conviction depends upon evidence and due process of law.
When journalists do their duty and tell the story and report the truth, it does eventually make a difference.
There is a certain truth that we're always trying to get to the bottom of. We know when things are wrong, and we like to expose that. And when you do that well, you feel you're doing something for the world.
As reporters, I think we really prize our ability to detach ourselves in covering the story.
In the case of the Boston Archdiocese, there was in fact a cover-up at the very highest level. Reporting that information made all the difference in the world.
It is increasingly clear to this report that the only rational way out then will be to negotiate, not as victims, but as an honorable people who lived up to their pledge to defend democracy and did the best they could.
Our only real purpose in life and in work was to tell people what we knew to be true.
To be a journalist was to feel like you had useful work to do.
The best that you and I can hope to do is to take fragments of what is going on everywhere, and by putting it together, give people a sense of what is going on.
Frontline journalism is important. You know, without these photos and videos and first-hand experience, we can't really tell the world how bad it might be.
Oh, what's that? Reporting from the front lines of the fight against ISIS is sometimes chaotic.
Protesters have now reached the main square here in downtown Cairo. People are being injured. We have seen several collapsing so far today.
They have been trying to push back the protesters. They have been firing tear gas throughout the morning, rubber bullets.
The world watches and listens in horror. The peaceful pro-democracy demonstration in China comes to a violent and bloody end.
After hours of shooting and facing a line of troops.
As for the dead, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, the figures seem inane to a man who is either burying or still looking for his wife and children.
All of a sudden I heard this terrific noise. If I had not moved to sit on the side, I would have been dead.
This is what the war in Vietnam is all about. The Marines have burned this old couple's cottage.
Somebody has to know what this monster is doing to us and to his own people. And I'm making sure that somebody's gonna know. All the people in the world are going to see this.
It remains almost unbelievable, almost unreal, that a good-sized American city doesn't have drinking water.
I have never, ever seen anything as badly bungled and poorly handled as this situation in New Orleans. Where the hell is the water for these people?
They have been sentenced to go to a prison camp at 12 years of hard labor, and we don't know exactly what stage that ever got to.
All right, well, let's watch this unfold.
I promised myself, if I survive this killing field, I wouldn't stop talking about this kind of crisis.
Today we stand and speak for every journalist who corrupt regimes worldwide try to silence by putting them behind bars, blackmailing and blacklisting, killing or beating them.
Intimidation and threats, they will be there. But the work has to go on, and people need to know what is happening. Whether good or bad, it has to be told to the people the way it is.
Independent media is the oxygen of a democracy.
We will not walk in fear one of another. We will not be driven by fear into an age of unreason if we dig deep in our history and our doctrine and remember that we are not descended from fearful men, not from men who feared to write, to speak, to associate, and to defend causes that were for the moment unpopular. Good night and good luck.